question is, between the two words fire and ice, which does the poet interpret?
You might want to speak louder.
He'll hear me. I spoke like this last time. Why is it so close?
You just restarted.
Okay, go. Just keep going.
I said, between the two words fire and ice, which does the poet interpret as worse? Yeah. Yeah, okay, go. Okay, first, go.
My question is, how does one formulate the idea that humans need to be punished for their hatred and evil?
My question is the poet saying that he favors fire or ice? Because he talks about both of them differently.
My question is the poet talking about the actual elements fire and ice, or is he using fire and ice as, what do you call it? Metaphor. Oh.
Okay. Well, you guys have to answer my question.
Okay, which question are we focusing on, yours?
Yeah,
First one.
we'll go first.
You want to go first, though?
Explain what you meant by the question.
Do I repeat it?
No,
Just what you think. Your
Oh,
answer
my
to the
answer?
question.
Well, from in the beginning, he says, "From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favored fire." I think he's saying that he experienced. Did he experience it? I don't know. He tasted of desire. I don't get it. I think he experienced fire, but then but he's also saying that ice is good too, because it says to save for destruction, ice is also great. But I don't know. He's kind of saying that both of them are like the same thing, because I think in the poem, I feel like he's saying how it's not really about how the world is ending. I think he's talking about like how humans impact on each other. And it explained for fire that like there's also like hot emotions. For example, like lust, I'm guessing, which is also a bad thing. It's like bad for humans to think or do. But then there's also like cold emotions, which I think is what cold emotions mean?
What do you mean from the poem, what he said?
Yeah. I think cold emotions like hatred, just being mean. Just being mean to others. So yeah, there's like two, like he's explaining two different types, but there's still the same level of bad. I don't know. That's what I'm just seeing from the poem.
Okay.
For my question. Yeah.
For the question of what does the poet favor, fire or ice, I interpret it from the line, I hold with those who favor fire, that he, like Ella said, has experienced the hatred and the horridness of humans, and he believes that fire is a good way for the world to end in his case, his metaphorically speaking, because I think that's what he thinks is a good punishment. But then he talks about ice as how he would settle for that if he were to control the way the world would end, and how humans could be punished for their ways or whatnot, that ice would be a good ultimate. So for me, I think he favors fire, but he's comparing them as if they're equals in both good and bad ways.
I think that the poet is trying to compare and show us how ice and fire are similar and different, but I kind of think that he likes or favors ice over fire, because I think that he's trying to say if it was his choice, he would like end the world with ice.
I just choked. Okay, so I don't think he's talking about punishing the world when he says that that the world is gonna end with either fire or ice. And what Ella said also answered my question, which is that fire and ice are both metaphors for like different types of emotions, like for ice being mean and fire being like lust and stuff like that. And that's it.
Why does the text ambiguous much? Where else do I see examples of people behaving or reacting for the same reasons? So, other places in text, other text history in my life. Well, you just explain like connections and connections.
This one?
Yeah. Like examples. It's kind of, well, he's, I don't know how to answer it. Yeah, just put it down.
Okay, where else do you see examples of people behaving or reacting for the same reasons? Wait, what are we talking about? What the artist is right? Are we talking about people who react like the artist, or the people that are into
react like this.
Okay. So
It's wearing glasses, not
Yeah, but does it mean people that like
act like
fire or ice?
Yeah, they act like as if they're acting. Like, why are you wearing shades on the inside? What are you doing, bro?
he's that dude.
So
I don't have to answer that. I really don't.
I have to make connections because that's what I didn't do last time. So
I did the opposite. I made connections, but then like
I did mine now.
Everyone was just like, no. I was like, wait, talk. We need. Most examples of people behaving or reacting.
Where's
for the same
people? Where do people behave? Everyone behaves with hatred. No one doesn't. So
history. I'm not gonna use my life. I'm boring.
my life.
What he's basically saying is if the world would end once, he would choose fire, but if it end twice, it would be ice.
But if it had
That's why I get that. That's why I think he favors fire more than ice, because he's like, if I can do it again, why not change it up and use ice?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from him.
But what does it mean when it says
No, because the thing is,
what?
for
He's just
lust,
bashing
if
humans.
I got two images. Okay, I just realized. Okay, but you know how I was explaining like fire is like, for example, lust and stuff. I feel like that's because the thing with hatred, it's silent. Like you just say it, it's silent. Like you get emotional inside, like it's silent, and you don't really know if you're like if you were kind of hurt by the hatred of people. But then with lust, you're obviously hurt. Like I don't know. Put it down. I got nothing anymore. I got nothing.
What did you even get out of that?
I don't know. I thought I had something, but
Okay,
then also I
examples. Do you have examples?
That's what I'm.
Is this a bell? Bruh.
What?
Is that the fire one?
What was
You
that?
guys running.
Yo, what?
Activating lockdown. Activating lockdown. Activating.
If someone pulled out a scrap.
There's a lockdown? What happened?
Lockdown. Some shit's going on.
It's a real one.
Someone pulled out a strap.
No, I think it's a real one.
Yeah, sure, stop the video. So move away from the
It is a real one.
said stop
That's
the
what I'm
video.
saying.